Good morning. Last night, Mark Carney lied to Canadians. He lied to Canadians saying that his company, Brookfield Asset Management, only moved their headquarters from Canada to Donald Trump's hometown of New York City after he had resigned from the board. Now, we all know that Brookfield made that announcement on October the 31st, proving that Mr. Carney was lying to Canadians. But this morning, we can share with you a letter signed by Mark Carney on December the 1st. Now, this is just days after Donald Trump had threatened Canada for the first time with unjustified tariffs. Now, this letter says that the decision by the board, of which Mark Carney at that time was chair, was unanimous to move the headquarters and Canadian jobs to Donald Trump's hometown of New York City. And the letter implores shareholders, urges them to support the move. Now, this is not surprising, but it is extraordinary to have Mark Carney stand before Canadians and in response to media questions to lie. It's now more important than ever that he disclose all of his financial interests and conflicts of interest, knowing that he's been advising the Liberals and Justin Trudeau for 5 years and not having disclosed what his interests were to this point. It's imperative that it happens in case he becomes Prime Minister. And it's more important than ever now that he's demonstrably lied to Canadians. We know that we can't trust what Mark Carney says, and we now know that he will put profits for himself and for well-connected insiders on Bay Street and now on Wall Street ahead of Canadians. It's crystal clear. If Mark Carney wins, Canada loses.
If the Conservatives are elected in the next election, would you legislate changes to the law to stop this disclosure loophole from happening?
We have, with Mark Carney and this revelation of his willingness to lie to Canadians and his refusal to be transparent to Canadians against a practice that was established. It didn't need to be legislated before. Even during the last Liberal leadership race, noted serial ethical lawbreaker Justin Trudeau disclosed his financial dealings. He disclosed all of his speaking engagements, his inheritance, months before the Liberal leadership race.
But he was elected.
And,
did he change the law?
And though not a requirement, currently, the rules are proven to be, yet again, not strong enough to withstand the Liberals' desire to be deceitful with Canadians. And so, of course, we're going to strengthen the laws. But today, the question is, why is it that Mark Carney is so desperate to hide these details from Canadians? It appears, based on the revelation of his most recent lie, that he's got something to hide, and Canadians deserve answers from Mark Carney.
Mr. Barrett, at least 2 opinion polls now show the Liberals in the lead ahead of the Conservatives. A myriad of other polls show that the Liberals are now within striking distance with between 3 and 5 points. You were leading, your party was leading by 20 points a month ago. How much responsibility does Pierre Poilievre hold for the loss of this lead? And are you thinking of adjusting your strategy to fix this?
It was just 2 weeks ago that we were in downtown Ottawa and we had thousands of Canadians excitedly hear the message from Pierre Poilievre about putting Canada first, our plan to axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget and stop the crime, and to resolve the issues that the Liberals have all but ignored that put us in a place of weakness, economic weakness, as Mark Carney described it last night after having been an economic advisor to the Liberals and to Justin Trudeau. When I'm talking to my constituents, I'm hearing from Canadians across the country, they want us to eliminate the Liberals' carbon tax on everything. They want us to take the tax off of new homes, saving Canadians tens of thousands of dollars. They want us to put in place a dollar-for-dollar law and stop the out-of-control spending that we've seen that's driving inflation in this country. They want us to deal with the scourge of out-of-control crime on the streets of Canada. So what we're hearing from Canadians is that they want us to execute a plan that will put Canada first after 9 years of pain, misery, and expense caused by the Carney-Trudeau Liberals.
Polls show that Canadians are most worried about the threat of Donald Trump. What is your party doing in regards to responding to the overwhelming opinion of Canadians right now that they are worried and they are anxious about what Donald Trump will be doing in this term to Canada's sovereignty?
Look, we've called consistently for the House of Commons to be unlocked. Justin Trudeau and Team Carney have decided to padlock Parliament. We put forward a plan, Pierre Poilievre's plan, to bring forward a bring-it-home tax cut that would help grow Canadians' paychecks, that would help grow jobs in this country, help improve investment, to take down interprovincial trade barriers that have been left in place after 9 years of the Carney-Trudeau Liberals, to have these conversations in the House of Commons to remove the carbon tax, which is a self-imposed tariff put in place by Justin Trudeau, supported and encouraged as not having been high enough by Mark Carney. These are the conversations, these are the debates, these are the decisions, the laws that need to be passed in Parliament. Conservatives have called for Parliament to be reopened to deal with it. But what's happened is Canada was given a 30-day extension, a reprieve from Donald Trump's unjustified tariffs on Canada. And what have the Liberals done? They've turned away from that, turned inwards to deal with their internal party politics. The best effort that we've seen from them so far is apparently they're handing out friendship bracelets on Capitol Hill. That's not going to cut it. Canadians are worried about their jobs. Canadians are worried about our sovereignty. I have to say that Conservatives have been crystal clear. Canada will never be the 51st state. We're a proud country. We're a proud democracy. Part of that democracy is our Parliament. Why has Justin Trudeau padlocked it?
That public approval for the Liberals is increasing.
We've put forward our plan for Canadians, and look, we've heard a strong resonance. I gave an example of just last weekend here in Ottawa, with thousands of Canadians coming to hear that message, and what we're hearing in our communities is that Canadians want us to put Canada first. It's disappointing that the Liberals have decided to put party over country and to focus all of their energy and effort on their internal party politics instead of dealing with the real issues that are facing Canadians. Pierre Poilievre and common sense Conservatives are the only party that will put Canada first.
Can you just explain why it matters, though? Like, what's the significance of the fact that they chose? It's a technical move, it's a paper move to move the headquarters from Toronto to New York. They still have presence in Toronto. So why does this matter?
Donald Trump asked companies to move to the United States, asked them to take their jobs, to take their investment dollars to the United States. And we saw this during his first term, and we're seeing it again now. He hadn't even taken office, but he had threatened Canada with unjustified and unjust tariffs on Canada and on Canadians. And what was the response from Mark Carney? It was to immediately support and to his board unanimously voting to move their headquarters from Canada to New York City, not standing up to Donald Trump, not protecting Canadian interests, Canadian investment, Canadian jobs, not even modeling good behavior. He did exactly what Donald Trump asked before he was even in the Oval Office. And the purpose, as outlined in the letter from Mark Carney to shareholders, where he implores them, where he begs them to vote in support of moving this Canadian jobs to the United States, it's for profits. It was so that they could make more money, so that Mark Carney could make more money, and that his well-connected friends would make more money doing exactly what Donald Trump has asked. Pierre Poilievre and Canada's Conservatives are the only ones who will stand up to Donald Trump, and Mark Carney has demonstrated himself to not only be a liar, but also to be willing and prepared to do exactly what Donald Trump says and exactly when he asks for it.
Last question. Mr. Mayor, you just said a few minutes ago that you plan to eliminate the carbon tax on everything. So does that mean that the Conservatives plan to also get rid of the industrial carbon tax in the next election?
Look, we've said that the effect of the carbon tax has been clear for 9 years. We have the price of groceries having gone up, food price inflation in this country rising faster than it has in the United States. Home heating, of course, has gone up. We have the price of everything, putting gas in your car. These are not luxuries, feeding, heating, and housing yourself, but this is what the Liberals have been taxing. We've seen what Mark Carney has said, that he's going to put in place a shadow carbon tax, and that's going to be on industry, saying that it's just going to be on steel plants, for example. Well, this is while Donald Trump is threatening tariffs on those very industries. So the Liberal solution to tariffs is to put in place more tariffs on Canadians, a self-imposed one. Conservatives are going to make sure that we are competitive, to make sure that we have an environment where businesses can thrive, where Canadians can have powerful paychecks. We're not going to hammer Canadian businesses at the same time that we're being hit with unjustified tariffs by Donald Trump and the United States. So look, you can count on Conservatives putting forward common sense plans. We've said that we're going to take the tax off. That's exactly what we're going to do, because that's what Canadians deserve, because that's what puts Canada first.
Industrial emissions.
Thank you so
take
much
the tax
for the
off industrial
questions.
emissions, though? That's what you mean?